Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Dan and I were so lucky to go to Russell's in Massachusetts yesterday, and we had a great time finding some more plants for the garden. And we both have a very different approach to purchasing our garden plants. So I go with the regulars. What can you say? I got petunias because I knew I liked them. And I turned around and I looked at the cart, and there were all these interesting sorts of plants in there that Dan had seen that he thought we should give a try, which is great. But Dan is definitely the experimental one who's willing to see something a little bit more unusual that we don't have. But I love that he added it to our collection to bring home. One of the things that Dan chose is this Gomphrena plant. So I have grown Gomphrena once before. I got eaten by the bunny rabbit. So this time I'm going to put it up on the deck where I can keep a little closer eye on it, and look at how beautiful it is. So this is a type of Gomphrena. I'm not quite sure the exact type. The type I grew before was the Truffula Pink by Proven Winners. It did really well until the bunnies had a feast of it. However, I think I like this plant even more because I discovered that the reason it is named the Truffula Pink for that one variety is that it's named after the truffula tree in Dr. Seuss. And I'm a teacher at heart, so I just thought that is so fabulous. So looking at the book, sure enough, this looks like one of Dr. Seuss's inventions. That is awesome. Now I want this even more. Dan would be a great Dr. Seuss person too. He is very imaginative. So we're going to begin by putting this in this pot here. I've already added the potting mix and a little bit of Biotone starter fertilizer. And I think I might have put too much potting mix in here because this is a pretty big plant. But that is okay. I'm just going to scoop a little bit out. This is the time of year that we need to refresh our pots a little bit. Some of them are starting to look a little sad. And if something isn't doing its best right now, it is fine to pull it out and put something else in, or to add a couple things that are doing much better. Like this plant just seems really, really good at the moment. I'm going to nestle it sort of to one side. This is kind of whoops, there's a broken one. This is a pretty tall Gomphrena plant, so I might end up putting a little cage around here just to make sure that the bunny doesn't get it and that it doesn't flop over. Let me add a little more potting mix. Now I have a little bit of space on this side. So I'm thinking, since I'm really into propagating right now, I'm going to go to the garden and just pick off a few tips of some of my coleus plants because they have this nice pink color to them. And then I can just add them in here, and you're going to find that right now there's a lot of coleus being sold at your nurseries because we know coleus are going to go right into the fall. So this will give them some time to root in, and in another month or so will look fabulous. I will be right back with some cuttings. Okay, I just stepped around the corner. I chose some cuttings that have the same sort of pink color in them, and I just pinched them off from the plant. So all you're going to do is take off the bottom leaves here so it can put more energy into the production of roots. And then I'm just going to dibble a little hole with my finger and pat them in. And as long as I keep my eye on them just so that they stay, well watered. The nice thing with these, of course, the bunnies do not eat coleus. So that is a good thing. Maybe I'll put this bunny side out so that they're deterred a little bit by the coleus. But I think that this is just going to fill in the base here, and then we'll have floating above it our Gomphrena, which I just love. And sometimes when I do this, I just take my nail and score the stem a little bit too. You don't have to do that because these root pretty easily, but it can't hurt. Okay, look at that. Once again, we're going to have to wait and see how they grow in, but that is a great start. Thank you to Dan for choosing out something new here. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.